What's up, everybody? I'm going live one more time. So, I have a bunch of YouTube videos that I'm working on lately, and I need some background music. So, instead of creating all of this original music all by myself, with no friends around to love and support me, I figured I'd do it live on camera in front of y'all. So, I also want to make it a little bit educational here. So what I'm going to do is kind of narrate a little bit through the process as we go, and it'll be like probably 95% just me making beats and jamming out. So the first step that we need to do here, we need to pick a nice tempo. I'll do some different tempos, but my favorite tempo is generally around 90 to 95. So why not? Let's start there. So I got my chaos pads over here. And basically with this setup, I'm not using a fancy Pro Tools rig or a bunch of virtual instruments and laptops and MIDI cables and all that. Basically, it's a sampler. So each one of the Chaos pads has 4 samples that you can make of varying lengths. And so that's 8 total. But if you use all 8 of them, you don't have any left. So really you only get 7 pretty much. But just like the old school Beatles records, I can take any number of tracks that I want and bounce it down into one singular track and start the process all over again. So I always like to start with a click. And I always like to start with the pad on the right here. So everything is going directly in one line. I'm going from the keyboard to pad number 1 to pad number 2. And actually, the keyboard and the mic are summed. And it's going to the pads. And it's going right out to Facebook. So I'm going to get a little click track going here. So we got our click. Now at this point, I could pretty much put any instrument I want in, but I'm going to start with the drums. Maybe some more hi-hats. Maybe a little bit of a better snare. So I got a nice little drum groove going there, right? Simple, but funky. And some keyboards. Got to move my mouse. Here we go. So, this is going to be point number one here. When you're making your beat, you don't want to just have the same old drums and the same old shakers and the same old stuff just going the entire length of the song. It gets a little bit repetitious. And a lot of the times I'll cut a lot of those parts out when I make an actual produced video. But taking stuff out and sort of timing it can be a super effective way to stretch your, this is only really two sounds happening right now. A great way to stretch it, bring in your two sounds, then drop one out. Then bring them both back in, then drop the other one out. So now we're just back to the drums. There's my one note, super advanced electronic piano pad there. Let's do some bass lines. Just bass and keys. A little bit of white noise for y'all. Now, we're forgetting one very important element here. What does every song need? Well, we're gonna need some kind of melody to go on the tippy top. Let's see what we can come up with. probably do that little drop a bit better. And that's basically how it goes. So I kind of just jam on it until I come up with a nice little melody that I'm digging. And this one, that one was okay, but I like to let the song kind of evolve organically. And so I don't try to like force a bunch of ideas into it. It's sort of, if it doesn't come to my brain without me having to force it, it's probably not that good of an idea. So I'm going to lay down that piano melody because that one was way better. All right, let's get fun with it. All right, another little trick here. I love to do this to enhance the energy a little bit. Now, when you're in Pro Tools and you got infinite drum machines and patches and sequencers at your fingertips, it's easy to kind of paint the white out on the canvas. But I'm very limited with what I can do at any given moment here. But what's cool about the ride cymbal thing and the cymbals is it really sounds kind of useless all by itself, you know, wherever the cymbal, wherever that comes in. So it sounds like kind of pointless. There's no kick drum there. There's not a whole lot of stuff going on. Can you even find the one when this track is soloed by itself? But even when you add a kick drum to this, it's already starting to groove a little bit. So check this out. Here's our regular old drum loop. And as you can hear, there's not a lot there's no quantizing. Nothing's like locking or correcting itself or fixing itself. Like, there's one thing about this setup is you actually have to play it right, and it records whatever you play. Listen what happens when the ride cymbal. Already we got loads of beef happening. I think we can leave that song alone for now.